Good morning. I decided to go ahead and make the Big Country Football 1 and 2 random team creation charts for those who don't want to do a zero-sum team creation from the original game and BCF2. So what this will allow you to do is quite literally make your teams completely randomly from scratch. Okay, so let's take a look at it. It'll be available. There'll be a link directly to this again in the description box for this video. So it's called Big Country Football Random Team Creation. You start by first rolling your OLQ, which is your offensive line quality, and when you roll that D6, it says here 1D6, you're either going to be 1 to 3, they're going to be pass protectors, or they're going to be 4 to 6 road graders. This is the only time the offensive line will affect play in any way in the game, and it also sets the foundation of your franchise's legacy, the kind of offensive lines they like to build and their history. So in the example I give here, I roll a pass protecting line, and that's going to dictate right here that 1 to 3 means we're rolling my quarterback off the pocket passer column. And then again, the roll here in the example earned us a +2 quarterback. So once I know my OLQ or pass protectors and my quarterback is a pocket passer +2, I now can roll. I'll use the quarterback rating for the backs. So +2 for the quarterback, and I roll, let's say, I don't know what I rolled down here. I said I rolled a 4, right? My backs would be a -1. And then to determine my receiving core, I use the backs column of -1 to find out the quality of my receivers. And as you can see, so far Bill's team is Jackson Bulldogs. He's given the head coach a name, and he hasn't yet determined his run value. His OLQ or pass protectors, this will just be the legacy of his organization. So looking back, that'll just be what this owner and GM like to do. It'll have no more effect on play anywhere, right? And then we have a +2 pocket passer, we have a -1 backfield, and we have a 0 receiving core. Next, we have to determine their franchise foundation of defense. So we already have our OLQ, pass protectors. Now, what is the franchise foundation for this owner, the legacy of this team? You can decide for yourself whether it's the DL, the LB, or the DB, or you can roll randomly. A 1 or 2, it's the defensive line. 3 or 4, it's linebackers. 5 or 6 is DB. So imagine this would reflect, let's say, linebackers would be the Pittsburgh Steelers legacy. DBs would be the Oakland Raider legacy. Defensive line, I can't think offhand. A legacy of defensive line. I guess you could argue. Well, I can't think of one offhand. But my point is, so you could select linebackers, or you can roll. Well, we roll 4. That's linebackers. So now I come over here and roll 11 to 66. And I roll a 34, so we look at 3, 4, cross-reference with 3, 4, +0. So the franchise foundation for this team is linebackers at +0, right? And then that +0 we're going to use to determine either the DL or the DB on the next window. And this is up to me. Do I want to do the DL next, or I want to do the DBs next? I must determine. I'm going to have to make a decision there. And we choose to do DBs, and we look at 0 for linebacker. Right, so our linebackers are rated 0. We're going to use this column to determine the quality of the DBs, and we roll a 1. And our DBs are fantastic, -2. So now we have our DB score. To get the final DPU grade, the defensive line, we have to get the average. So we add our linebacker to our DBs, divide by 2. So -2 divided by 2 is 1. That's our average, -1. And we use the -1 column for our DL. We roll a 2, and our DL is a 0. And now we look at our team. Again, we have our pass protectors, +2 pocket passer, -1 back, 0 RC. Our DL 0, our linebackers are 0, and that's franchise foundation. So these, again, are offensive line legacy leans toward pocket pass protectors. Our linebackers will lean toward linebackers. Again, all of this will change after the first season. Well, at least the numbers will change, but this just gives you like an idea of their identity, their legacy. And -2 DBs. So Bill has created a Jackson team with a solid defense and a good pocket passer. Now Bill uses the formulas below to rate all the special teams units. The formulas for special teams are the same that are in the books, both BCF 1 and BCF 2. I just put them here for ease of play. They're randomly generated, along with the interception. And then, of course, the last thing you're going to do is either you're going to roll to assign your head coach 1 to 6. If I roll a 3, he's a 1 through 3 run coach, 4 through 6 pass coach. And here's what the final Jackson Bulldogs look like. Stephen Parker is a run coach, 1 through 3, 50% run pass. Their legacy of the franchise leans toward pass protecting linemen. That led to the allocation or the drafting or the development of a +2 pocket passer. Their running backs are -1. Their receiving core is 0. Their defense, their foundations are linebackers. However, it led to really solid defensive backs, and their defensive line is great defensive backs, solid line, solid backers. And then, of course, we've got an average punter, average kick returner, average punt returner. We have a 1 to 14 place kicker, 19 PAT. And our interception return is actually very good. It's almost 10 points better. It's 9 points better than NFL average, so very good. And there's the Jackson Bulldogs. And now you've created, you can create a team completely randomly now without having to do a zero sum. And that way you don't have to feel like you're, making decisions. So now you can build your team and roll up the rest of the league around your team if you want to. Remember, BCF 1 and BCF 2 team creation was purposely zero sum, hoping that players will come to BCF as an automated game and a solitaire game, and will be the commissioner of their league, hand creating all their teams. Or you're in a league and everybody in the league hand creates their teams, and somebody's the commissioner and plays out the games. I understand that a lot of people want to make teams and they don't want to have to decide if LA's a +2 quarterback or not. So this is a way for everybody to be able to do that. So again, if you roll an OLQ of 3 and then you roll a 6, you get to use the Phil General chart to determine your quality of your quarterback, and then you would note Phil General for quarterback as opposed to pocket passer. If you happen to roll a 4, 5, or 6, your offensive lineman tends toward running. Therefore, you're going to want an athlete at quarterback, and let's say you roll scrambler, then you're going to come over to the scrambler table, and you have a chance to score the only +3 for quarterbacks, right? So this guy would be the kind of quarterback that gets out of trouble, and because of that, really can create that extra advantage in completions and avoiding interceptions. So right now, the only way for a quarterback to start the game at a +3 is you're going to have to hit a scrambler. You're going to have a 6-6, which is pretty cool. Remember, don't fret or sweat it, because all of these grades change in the off-season paradigm that is found in BCF 1 or BCF 2. Anyway, I thought I would share this. It's free. I'll put the link to the description box. Go get it if you want to create your teams completely randomly, and also understanding the values in how the game ratings affect probabilities. All right, thank you. Good day.